Hey everyone, it's Stephanie again, and you are tuned in to the review of Married at First Sight, Season 9, Episode 2. So, a little change of a background. I am out of town this week, so the review is going to be a little bit quicker, but I definitely want to make sure I chimed in about last night's episode. So last night, for those of you guys who are new, we are in Charlotte this season. Last night, the second batch of couples got married, Jamie and Elizabeth, and Iris and Keith. So let's kick it off. Jamie and Elizabeth, they got married last night, okay? They gave me a little bit of mixed messages though. When I first saw Jamie see Elizabeth, it felt kind of awkward, and I don't know, chime in and let me know what you guys thought. It felt a little awkward. I couldn't really tell if he was really attracted to her. She walked down the aisle and laughed a lot, was really kind of just goofy. I think maybe her being so nervous just came out in the form of laughing a lot, but it was kind of awkward. Watching them was kind of awkward, but they kind of got it together. They kissed at the altar. I didn't know which way it was going to go with them, and throughout the night they seemed to have a good sexual chemistry, and he says towards the end of the night that his wife is really hot. So it was interesting to see their dynamic because I really couldn't tell. It's great that he kind of, said that he was attracted to her. I don't really remember if she said that, but I think that she was happy with the match based on what she saw so far. So it's just interesting to see their dynamic. They had a good time at the reception. Everyone seemed to get along. He's very close to his mother. They had a sweet moment before the ceremony. She is very close to her father, as we know, and they had a sweet moment. So it'll be interesting to see how their dynamic transpires. I don't watch the upcoming previews because I don't want them to kind of mess with my review in the current state. So I'm sure there will be much to see from them. But it seemed pretty even keel last night. The second couple who got married was Iris and Keith. So I said last week I didn't have a fave couple yet. I didn't really connect with any couple. This couple for now is who I've connected with. They are such an aesthetically beautiful couple. They seem like perfectly matched. Obviously they don't know each other, so if we had to just kind of match a couple out there, they seem really perfectly matched. They're a beautiful couple together. She's very excited. She has this very young, fresh energy about her. He seems very sweet, very patient. He has they both have very good, strong family background. She's very close to her father and her mother. Her mother's super excited for this. He's very close to not only his parents, but he's also very close to his grandparents as well, who are all in support. So they come from really good foundations, as we can see so far. They are happy to see each other. He thinks she's beautiful. He thinks she's handsome. She thinks he's handsome, and they kind of gel together. It was really nice to see them. For me, they are probably the only couple that wasn't super awkward when they first met each other. And everybody gets a pass because this is the experiment where people meet at the altar, so it's a little bit of awkwardness is okay, but I feel like they had the most natural chemistry that I have seen. They're excited to be married to each other. They kissed as well. Iris, I hate to keep identifying her as the virgin, but that's kind of like her label for the season. So no one knows what's going to come up with them. But they seem to have a very good physical chemistry as well. They got close doing their first dance. I feel like everyone's first dance was super awkward, with the exception of Keith and Iris. Greg and Deonna had fast music, and they didn't know what to do. And Jamie and Elizabeth kind of were bopping around there, and Matt and Amber, their first dance was, Matt is 6'9" and Amber is like 5'2", so their first dance is just gonna be awkward just because it was very cute. I'm jumping around, but I'll go back to that first dance. So Keith and Iris's first dance, it seemed very natural. It seemed like a couple who've known each other for a very long time. I enjoyed watching them. I enjoyed all the families last night interacting with each other and asking a bunch of questions. Here's what irritated me last night. So Keith's mother talks to Iris and is just, mentioning the purity of the dress. And I feel like I'm just picking up on a lot of production cues too. A lot of the bridesmaids incessantly asking Jamie, what are you expecting this night? It just felt like, okay, ask this question. Didn't feel very natural. So even with the purity of the white, nowadays wedding dresses are so many different colors, and originally, white in wedding dresses wasn't about purity, it was about wealth. So we have somehow transitioned it to purity, but a white dress doesn't necessarily mean that anymore, because there's a lot of women who are not virgins who wear white dresses. But Keith's mom was able to ask Iris about this white dress, and she shared that very, private and personal information with her. And what really irritated me was Keith's mom ran back and told him, and she kind of presented it as, let me look out for my son, let me look out for my baby boy. I don't know if he's run into a virgin, which is so ridiculous, because even if he isn't, like, he's not in any danger. I wish that she would have let her share that with him. That's now his wife. That's a really personal topic. She didn't even have to really share that, but she did, because she's proud of it. And I wish that Iris would have had the moment by herself to share with her new husband, here I am, here's something you need to know about me, here's why that's so important to me, here's where that comes from. She wasn't able to do that, because mom ran back and told her son. And of course he is like, wow, because there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And you don't want to make the wrong move, and this is your new wife, and you're hoping it works out, and you don't want to be disrespectful, but chances are he probably has not had that interaction in recent years anyway. So he's taking it very seriously. And I just really hated seeing that dynamic of her butting in. I hope she's not like a Budinsky like throughout their relationship, because that will be a problem. Sorry guys, my low battery. So that was the only thing that really bothered me. But we saw Iris's father get very emotional. It was beautiful to see that he was really emotional about letting his daughter go. It shows how close of a dynamic they have. All the father-daughter, mother-son dances were beautiful. One thing that I will say that was so touching was they called Matt's mother to the floor. And I feel like this is another production thing, because you guys know Matt's mother is not there. Matt's family is not there. But it was kind of awkward because she's not there, and there's this elephant in the room, and I just met my bride, 20 minutes ago, so I really haven't had time to dive into this. And Amber's mom steps up and says, would you like to dance? I thought that was so sweet. And you could see that really was touching for him. It's like, in high school when they pick somebody to dance with and you're like the last chosen, like that moment is so beautiful that somebody will choose you. So it was so sweet to see her step in on behalf of Amber. And before Amber said it, I said, wow, this is going to be a huge bridge to connect them even more, because Amber has talked about their struggles in terms of building. The mother left the relationship, left her father for somebody, I think when they were 7. So there's a lot of issues there, a lot of abandonment issues there. And so I think that was such a great bridge to build with Amber by being so sweet and thoughtful for Matt. And I think she was just genuinely doing that. And Amber said that, like, what a great thing for her to do. I wasn't expecting that, and that is really going to help continue to mend our relationship. So I thought that was really, really great. Other than that, we watched them have their first night, first dance, first everything, families interact. Matt kind of talked with the bridesmaids and his sister about the dynamic and wanting his parents to work so harder than he saw them work, and that's based on his own perception. There's so much stuff there that we don't know, and how hurt he is, but it doesn't change his idea of marriage, and it actually makes him more excited to try even harder to sustain a marriage. So we saw all of those dialogues happen, and then they all end up in the room, and then that's where we end. And I'm sure next episode will be the honeymoon, and we don't know. I would not be surprised if like at least one consummates. If it's not on the honeymoon, then on the if it's not on the wedding night, then it's on the honeymoon, because we have like a lot of really emotionally, sexually charged couples, and with this experiment, it's either they're all the way on or they're all the way off. But it's good to kind of see everyone have a good time, and I think despite everything going on, and all the different backgrounds and the things that we can pick on, this has been a very refreshing seasons so far, because if we think about the last season, there was Luke and Kate. The season before, there was Mia and Tristan. So all us Married at First Sight watchers have been traumatized for the last 2 seasons. So I'm happy. I mean, there's stuff that we can always find, but I'm happy. I think that they're off to a great start, and I'm definitely looking to see how this season continues on. So as always, I will see you guys next week for the next review. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like, and I'll talk to you soon. Everyone have a great week.